Right now at the Duval County Courthouse, there is a sentencing hearing going on, and it's all about this case that revolved around these sketches that occurred nearly 20 years ago when a baby was taken from a Jacksonville hospital. Now, we want to listen in here for just a second, and we believe...
Imagine discovering that the person you trusted most in the world, the one who tucked you in at night and kissed your forehead each morning, had been lying to you your entire life. Now imagine that person wasn't just any caregiver. They were someone who had stolen you from your real family 23 years ago. This is exactly what happened to Camilla Mobley, and her story would unravel one of the most disturbing abduction cases in American history. What started as a routine DNA test would expose a truth so shocking that it would shake two families to their core and leave investigators stunned at how one woman managed to hide in plain sight for more than 2 decades. On July 10, 1998, a young mother named Shannara Mobley was resting in her hospital room at University Medical Center in Jacksonville, Florida. She had just given birth to a beautiful baby girl 8 hours earlier. The exhausted 16-year-old mother was still recovering when a woman dressed in scrubs entered her room. The woman wore a floral smock and had a warm, professional demeanor. She told Shannara that the baby had a slight fever and needed to be examined by a doctor. Shannara, trusting the hospital staff, handed over her newborn daughter without hesitation. That was the last time she would hold her baby for 23 years. Within hours, the hospital realized something was terribly wrong. The woman in the floral smock wasn't a nurse. She was never supposed to be in that maternity ward. Security footage showed her walking calmly out of the hospital with baby Camilla wrapped in a blanket. By the time authorities began their search, the abductor had vanished completely. The FBI launched a massive investigation. But despite following thousands of leads across the country, baby Camilla Mobley seemed to have disappeared into thin air. What investigators didn't know was that the kidnapper, a woman named Gloria Williams, was living just miles away in South Carolina. Williams had suffered multiple miscarriages and was desperate to have a child. She had even told her boyfriend and family that she was pregnant, showing up at gatherings with a padded belly to maintain the lie. As her fake due date approached, Williams panicked. She needed a baby, and she needed one fast. That desperation led her to the maternity ward in Jacksonville, where she spotted her opportunity. Gloria Williams raised Camilla as her own daughter, naming her Alexis Manigo. She moved frequently, always staying one step ahead of suspicion. To anyone who met them, they seemed like a normal mother and daughter. Williams enrolled Alexis in school, took her to doctor's appointments, and celebrated her birthdays. She created birth documents using fraudulent information and managed to navigate the system without raising red flags. Alexis grew up believing Gloria was her biological mother, never questioning why she didn't have a birth certificate or why her mother seemed nervous whenever official documents were required. Meanwhile, Shannara Mobley never stopped searching for her daughter. Every year on Camilla's birthday, she held vigils and press conferences pleading for information. The pain of that day in the hospital haunted her constantly. She kept her daughter's nursery exactly as it had been, hoping against hope that one day her baby would come home. Law enforcement continued to investigate, but as years turned into decades, the case grew colder. The breakthrough came in an unexpected way. As Alexis Manigo grew older, she began to notice inconsistencies in her mother's stories. Gloria became increasingly anxious whenever Alexis asked questions about her birth or family history. When Alexis tried to get a driver's license and later apply for college, the lack of proper documentation became a serious problem. Gloria would make excuses, claiming the documents had been lost in a fire or destroyed in a move. But Alexis's suspicions continued to grow. In 2016, when Alexis was 18 years old, she confronted Gloria about the missing birth certificate. The conversation became heated, and Gloria's responses seemed increasingly evasive. Alexis decided to do her own research. She began searching online for missing children who matched her age and description. What she found stopped her heart. There, staring back at her from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children website, was an age progression photo that looked remarkably like her own reflection in the mirror. Alexis contacted the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they immediately connected her with the FBI. Investigators arranged for a DNA test, though they cautioned Alexis that many missing persons cases ended in disappointment. On January 12, 2017, the DNA results came back. They confirmed what Alexis had feared and what Shannara Mobley had prayed for during 18 years of anguish. Alexis Manigo was actually Camilla Mobley, the baby who had been kidnapped from a Jacksonville hospital in 1998. The revelation sent shockwaves through both families and captured national attention. FBI agents arrested Gloria Williams at her home in South Carolina. She confessed to the kidnapping, explaining her desperation to have a child and her moment of opportunity in the hospital. Williams showed no resistance when authorities took her into custody. She knew her decades-long deception had finally caught up with her. For Kamaya, the discovery created an emotional crisis that few people could imagine. The woman she had called mom for her entire life was actually her kidnapper. Yet, Gloria was also the only mother she had ever known. She had raised Kamaya with love, even if that love was built on a foundation of lies and crime. Kamaya felt torn between two worlds. On one side was her biological family, strangers who desperately wanted to reconnect with the daughter they had lost. On the other side was Gloria, the woman who had stolen her but had also been her entire world. Shannara Mobley was overjoyed to finally meet her daughter, but the reunion was bittersweet. Kamaya was an adult now, with her own life and complicated feelings about the woman who had raised her. The relationship between Kamaya and her biological family would take years to develop, and it could never erase the time they had lost together. In May 2018, Gloria Williams was sentenced to 18 years in prison for kidnapping. During the trial, Kamaya made a statement that surprised many observers. She asked the judge for leniency, saying that despite everything, Gloria had been a good mother to her. The judge acknowledged Kamaya's feelings, but emphasized that Williams had committed a serious crime that had devastated a family for nearly 2 decades. The case exposed serious failures in hospital security protocols and raised questions about how someone could live under a false identity for so long without being detected. Following Kamaya's kidnapping, hospitals across America implemented stricter security measures in maternity wards, including infant security tags and enhanced screening procedures for anyone entering areas where newborns are kept. Today, Kamaya Mobley continues to navigate her unique situation. She maintains a relationship with both her biological family and Gloria Williams, though she has been candid about the emotional complexity of loving the woman who kidnapped her. She has spoken publicly about her experience, hoping to raise awareness about child abduction and the long-lasting trauma it creates for everyone involved. This incredible true story reminds us that truth can remain hidden for years, but it has a way of eventually coming to light. Kamaya Mobley's case shows us the devastating impact of crime on families and the complicated nature of identity, love, and forgiveness. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the most compelling true crime cases and shocking investigations that changed lives forever. Drop a like on this video if you appreciate thoroughly researched, fact-based storytelling, and let us know in the comments what case you'd like us to cover next. Your support helps us continue bringing you these powerful, real, life stories that expose truths stranger than fiction. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next investigation.